and welcome to Thursdays with Annette at 2 o'clock on Facebook Live. Welcome back also to our season 3, and I'm so excited to be back after having a couple of weeks break. Now we're in the kitchen, I've got my apron on, so I'm super fizzing excited about today's recipe because I'm going to be making for you the Rippa Rissoles out of book 4. So if you've never made them before, you are going to get super excited, I'm sure, because they're so fabulous. But before we get started in the kitchen, I just want to go back to the last episode we had, which was a question and answer, which was fantastic. And thank you for all your great responses. Now, we had a fabulous prize to finish the season, and it was 3 people were going to win a full set. That's 7 cookbooks, personally signed by me. So, okay, guys, we need a drum roll, please. The lucky winners was Heather VK, she's very excited. Also Sandy Toogood and Wendy Williams. Now these girls have got a set in the mail get ready girls, because you've got lots of recipes to cook with, and I've got something to give away at the end of the show as always, so stay tuned. Now I've got to get my kitchen set up for this recipe, so I have got my soapy sink ready for washing up. I've got my rubbish bag. I always like to have something on the bench like this because it really just means quick and easy and not going back and forwards to the sink. I've done it for years, it's just how I work, and it's just the routine we have. Now also, the ingredients you need for the Rippa Rissoles is some carrots, zucchini, a small onion, 500 grams of the really lean beef mince. Now you can make it, it has a variation using, it has chicken and pork, so you could buy that mince for a change as well. And you're also going to have in it some beef stock powder, so a little bit of pepper, some oyster sauce, an egg white, and the cup of soup is a spring vegetable packet, and also brown rice. Now, before we begin, I'm actually going to, maybe I'll put my rubber gloves on as I'm making the rissoles because, I hate getting under my nails and in the jewellery. But one of the things you need to do to start before you get to this point is, like I've done, I've boiled up the brown rice. Now, what it is, if you look at the recipe, it'll tell you that it's half a cup of the raw brown rice. I don't use brown rice a lot, but in this recipe, it just makes it really fantastic. I love it. And so you boil it up first. Now, the key with the rice is once it's cooked, I need you to rinse it well and then drain it really well. I want you to really drain it so there's not any extra liquid on it, because the idea is it's quite a moist mix, and so if you have the wet rice, it's not going to work. And this is where some people have said to me in the past they have a little bit of trouble with the Rippa Rissoles because as they turn them they break up, and that could be part of that reason. So there's tip 1 for the Rippa Rissoles. So let's go. This is the book. This is what we're making, the fantastic, good old favourite. I mean, it's been one that I've made for years and years and years. And what's so fantastic about it is that you've got the hidden veggies. So I'm going to chop up some onion first. And, you grate the veggies. So when the kids are eating them, they don't really know so much about the veggies. So if you've got a fussy kid that doesn't like veggies, well, this could be a fabulous recipe. So now I'm going to finely dice, and the idea of the finely dice is because you don't want really big chunks of onion in the mix. So the way you do that is go really close to the edge. Like if you wanted big dice, you'd go further back like that, but I'm going quite close. And when I'm cutting, I'm bending my fingers over a little bit because I don't want to cut my fingers or get nail into the mix. So this is a quick way to do it. It's just really easy. A sharp knife is the key to not having too many tears over the onion. Some people say it's good if you put it in the fridge as well, but I tend to just have my onions in the pantry. There we go. So now the key also is the method. It's so hard. I mean, what's the difficulty rating? 2. I mean, it's so easy. So what you do is you chop your onion, chuck it in the bowl, and basically this is what happens. Everything is now going to go in there. So we're going to have 3/4 cup of grated carrot. I haven't, taken the skin off the carrot. I think that they're pretty washed well these days. So I like to get as much of the vitamins that we can from these beautiful fresh produce. And so I'm going to just keep that skin on. If it's a bit of a grubby carrot, and often, when you get the organic ones, they can be a little bit like that. And we need 3/4 cup. So let's see how I'm going. That's it. Going to need a little bit more. You could use your food processor if you want to be a little bit super quick and easy, but I kind of think with just 3/4 cup of each. And I always push it down because that way you're getting the right amount. I'm so glad to be back on air with you guys. I've missed you. Now, the thing is, Book 4 is fabulous. It's got so many wonderful recipes in it, and the Rippa Rissoles is kind of one of those classics that when I talk to people and they go, so what's your favourite recipe? Often people will mention the Rippa Rissoles. So I've got 3/4 cup. In it goes. I'm going to not throw that out because I want to eat that later. And now I'm going to do the zucchini. See, as it grates into the mix, kids don't know they're getting veggies. So don't tell them. Now, the mince I got, is that really lean mince. I really, the pinker it is, the more lean it is. If it's got lots of white bits in it, then you know that they've, processed fat in through it. Now we want 3/4 cup of zucchini. I think we're good. I'll leave that to one side as well. Now I'm just going to get rid of this, I think. We don't need this anymore. Hold on a sec, I'll put it over in the sink. Wipe my hands. All right, so now everything kind of goes into the bowl. So we're going to put in a teaspoon of the beef stock powder, and I use the Marcel because I find that's so much lower in the salt. A little bit of pepper. Now this is the sachet of the cup of soup, and that'll just give it and build the flavours a little bit, so it's just not a boring rissole. We've got an egg white, which will help bind it all up. See, the yolk isn't needed, it's the egg white that we want, and I've just saved 6 grams of fat there straight up. So I love that. Now we're going to do 2 tablespoons of the oyster sauce. And this is about giving flavour. It's a little bit sticky. Here we go. 2 tablespoons. And this is what I love about the recipes. When you take out the fat, often you're left with no flavour. Let me put these in the sink. But my way is about building flavour without the, compromising, and yet there's hardly any fat. So the breakdown for this recipe is 4.9 grams of fat per serve. You get 2 rissoles each. I'm going to do this because it's a bit gooey. This is where the kids could come in and help. It's about 207 calories, so it fits into any program. So now what I'm going to put in is the mince. Remember I said the lean is fabulous, and this is a 500 grams of the mince. Over with the washing up. And now comes the squishy part. This is where you get in and mix it all together. This is where, kids often love these type of recipes. And if you've got a fussy eater, by getting them in the kitchen and them helping you, they tend to want to eat it more. So I would encourage you to get those kids in the kitchen because, one day you're going to want them to go out in the big world on their own, and if they don't cook, they're never going to leave home, guys. So that's important, I think. Okay, so I've squished everything together. I've got everything in here except now the rice. So this goes in. You can see it's quite granule, so it's not wet. And then we're going to really get in now. This is the key. Get in, mush it up, squish it up, really squeeze the ingredients together, and that way it combines really well. I love these on the barbecue. You know, they're so good. And you can serve them with veggies or salad, it doesn't matter. Look at all that. And what's happening is because we've got all this ingredients in there, we're getting a lot of, product. So we're getting 12 burgers out of this, 12 rissoles. So it's really quite economical. There, that's looking fabulous. Now, look at my mess. Let's chuck it in. The key now is I want to show you a couple of ways to work out how to do a serve. Now, we want 12 patties and you go, how do I divide it up? Because if you do it yourself, you free fall, you might end up with 10 or 9.5 or 14. So let me show you 2 ways that I do it. So what I'm doing is I'm flattening it all out. See, like that? And now what you do, get a knife and divide it up kind of like a pie. Actually, like it's there. And then you go, so it's in quarters. Then you cut like a pie. Imagine this is an apple pie. And you cut the line down so you're getting 12 rissoles. And then what you do is just go in, take a piece of the pie, and you see if you can see. Can you see that? And now I've got my patty ready to go. So now you can roll it, make it like that, and I'll show you another way to do it as well. Now that's one way of getting your 12 Rippa rissoles. Let me show you another way. All right, so I'll just get another bowl. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my little trusty digital scales out and I'm going to bring it to 0. Turn it on with the bowl on there as well. Now, Diane's at the ready with her calculator. Are you ready, Diane? Yes. So I'm going to put this all into the bowl. And to be honest with you, this is the way I prefer to do it. I do this like with other things, like the fruit balls, for example. I weigh and then I can work out exactly how many we need. So this now, the whole mixture together is 12.25. So Diane's going to divide that by 12. And what would that equal, Diane?
So it's 102 grams.
102 grams. All right, so now what I do is bring that to 0. Put it on. And there we go. So there's another way you can work out your portion sizes with the rissoles. Now, the other thing you can do as well is look at how you want to shape them. So you can do it like this, and I go around and pat the sides a little bit. Can you see? Pat it down a little bit. You don't want it too thick. And there's your one rissole. So it's 105, did you say, Di? 102. Well, we better make sure we're right. There you go. So once again, it's doing it this way. Yum. But the other way, which I like, is you actually measure it. Tiny bit more. And then get your wet mix and stick it in like something like this scone cutter. Push it in, lift it up, and turn it over, and there's your patty. So there's lots of ways you can do it. I'm just going to heat up my fry pan while I'm doing the rissoles. I might do that one again so you can see. So we want 105, 102. And I'm going to put it into the scone one. Now the other one you can use actually is an egg ring. Let's do it. So you can push it into the egg ring, take it out, and there it is. So you can see really nicely shaped patties, and I'm going to cook them up. I might just do 4 because we haven't got all day. Let's get rid of all this. We're going to cook them. Let's bring up the fry pan. Now, don't have the fry pan like super high, because what happens is that they can burn quite quickly. You don't want that. You don't want raw mince in the centre. So I'm going to do a little bit of cooking spray. And once it's got a little bit of heat going to it, I'm going to put in my perfectly shaped Rippa Rissoles. Now, do you know how the name came about? It was my friend Vicky and Dirk. They used to be my taste testers for a lot of the cookbooks. And when Dirk had them, he said to me, "Wow, Annette, these are Rippa Rissoles." And I went, "Hello, that's its name." And it's stuck ever since. Oh my gosh, they're so yum, because they've got everything you need in them. You've got your carbohydrates with the rice, you've got your protein with your mince, and you've got your gorgeous veggies to just give you that little bit of fibre as well. So there they are cooking. And what you'll do, what I do, is get the spray, just give them a little spray on the top when you're ready to turn them. And that's really fantastic. So they're going to take about 3 to 4 minutes cooking. I've got it on about, my thing goes to about 10, and I've got it on 7. So just to give you an idea. Now, while that's cooking, lots to talk about before we finish up. Once again, thank you for being here today. I'm so glad to be back. And what I want you to do is join me, if you're in the area and you can get here, on the 22nd of December, we're celebrating a huge milestone in the Simply Too Good world. Yes, that's right. Book 1, the original, which is this little darling here, is turning 20. My gosh, it got a makeover, but maybe I need one as well. But we're celebrating at a special event at the Marucci Rissoles from 5:30 to 7:30, and you're invited, because I want as many fans to be there to share this magic moment, because you guys have created the success and the journey. So please come. What Diane will do is, in the comments, you're going to put a link, aren't you? So she's going to put a link into the event so you can go get your ticket. So remember, 22nd of December, it's on. Yeah, 5:30 to 7:30. Yeah. So now, what else have I got on my little list here to do? Giveaway. Oh yes, what would you like to win? Well, of course you have to win the Rippa Rissoles recipe. So this is about 3 fabulous people can win this book. And I'll personally sign it for you, like I did all those other ones that they won over this year on Thursday with Annette. So how do you do it? You like, share, and then in the comments, you're going to write this. That's right, hashtag simply with the number 2, good, and then you'll go in the draw, and I will just randomly pick 3 fabulous people to be winner chicken dinner for next week. Now, talking about next week, I'm going to be in Sydney, and I'm going to be cooking out of my gorgeous pregnant daughter Jenna's house, and I'm going to be making one of my fabulous all-time favourite salads. Now, we're going into salad season. I want to get you excited, because who just wants, lettuce, tomato, cucumber all the time? I mean, it's nice to have it, but I'm going to make you the El Dorado salad. Stop it right now. It's fabulous in Book 7, and I'm going to also talk about some things that you should know about making healthy salads, because Caesar salad, for example, is probably the worst thing on the menu for having such a high fat count. Who would think? Well, yeah, think about it. The lettuce is fabulous, but then there's egg, there's the mayonnaise, there's the bacon, there's the fried croutons. Stop it. It's not going to help you lose weight if you do it that way. But of course, I have a Caesar salad in Book 1. So this is the thing. I want to talk about salads. I'm excited. And also remember to go in for the 22nd of November event, because I'm really wanting to meet you. It'll be wonderful. Now, who knew really that weight loss could be so deliciously healthy? stop it. Let's check out. I cooked some rissoles before. Diane's excited. This is her lunch. There is the cooked version because they're still cooking here. We don't have time anymore. We're done. So this is the Rippa rissoles from book 4. And remember, they are healthy, fabulous, and gosh, you know, how easy were they to do. So I will look forward to seeing you next week in Sydney, coming live. And I just thank you for being here, and you have an awesome week. Don't forget, if you want more tips or recipes, go to www.simplytoogood.com.au. Take care. Bye now.